Hey, welcome back. I'm Ross the Boss. I got a great interview today. We're talking to James Jones, 9-year veteran in NFL, Super Bowl winner. And he's also on the NFL Network almost every day. I love watching him speak and talk and give his mind. He knows everything about football. I'm excited to have him on. James Jones, welcome to the Hub.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing better than
great.
Tennessee Titans are.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Better than so 3 players tested positive, 5 coaches or personnel did. I mean, I know they expanded the rosters, like the practice squads, for this reason.
Yeah.
I mean, when you played, was it really that important to practice all week, or do you think like not practicing like the whole week and just going into the game on Sunday without really
I thought you were asking him when he played, how bad was COVID? And I was like, I don't think that was happening.
Yeah, we didn't have to deal with that when I was playing. But
yeah.
No, man, I mean, you need practice. As much as players hate practicing and practicing all week, you need practice. And I'm good with one or 2 days off during the week. But when you're talking about, man, they possibly can be off the whole week dealing with all this COVID stuff, and then you got to come out and play a game. And not just a game, you're dealing with one of the best teams in the National Football League in the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is going to have a chance to practice all week and put in certain plays and certain schemes that they like on both sides of the ball. And you got to talk about it over Zoom meetings. You know what I mean? That's a little disadvantage for the Tennessee Titans. And it's huge because you want to be able to go out there to practice. And not only that, that's how you start having those little minor injuries, the muscle pulls and things like that, when you're not able to go out there and practice and really run and do the things you're supposed to do. Because we all know you could work out for 260 straight days, and then you take off 2 days and you're like, dang, you go back in the gym, you're like, how am I sore? And I only took 2 days off. But you need to continue to work out and move around, man, and them not being able to do that. I just hope that if they are going to play the game, that they all can stay healthy. So if I was them, I would be at a private gym. I would be working out on the side. I would still be running, training. So when the game comes, I know my plays, know what I'm doing. But at least during the week, I
mean, James, do you think they'll go to like a park or like a high school and they have a practice together? At least have like a secret practice? Is that
yeah?
acceptable?
But they can't infect each other either. That's another thing you got to worry about.
To be honest with you, that's what I would do. If I would get some of the guys that did not test positive, you know what I mean, and let's go to the park. Even if we're just throwing routes on air and we're able to just throw the ball to each other and run and all that type of stuff and move around, I would advise them to do that than to just sit around all week and look at each other on Zoom meetings and then go out there and try to stop being
Ross. I mean, Ross the Boss who did the same thing. How many times did Brett Favre break your fingers in practice?
Brett broke a couple, but Aaron broke more.
Aaron broke more.
How many years did you play with Brett?
I only played 1 year with Brett. That was my rookie year.
Well, that's why he only broke a couple. He would play more.
but my 7 years with Aaron, 8 years with Aaron, he tore up some.
Well, so let's talk about your Green Bay Packers. Their offense is clicking. I mean, no Devontae Adams on Sunday. They still score 37 points. They're scoring like it's a video game, basically, you know. And we all play video games. I'm a great at Madden, just so you know, one of the best. But what I'm saying is this: I mean, they're scoring on will, and I think Rodgers, I feel, is just angry they didn't draft a wide receiver. I mean, I feel that he's like on a mission.
But it was obviously the best thing they could do. They didn't draft a wide receiver. Look how mad he is. He's playing great. But I wanted to ask James the difference between Favre and Rodgers. I'm sorry, Ross. I'm hijacking your question, but I needed to know that.
The difference between them. I mean, number one, they're both super competitors. People ask me all the time who throws it harder. And for me, it's crazy to say it's an easy answer, but it's Aaron Rodgers. And I tell people that all the time, and they're like, what? Are you crazy? And I'm like, no, I'm not crazy. I caught balls from both of them. Aaron Rodgers
you're the one who would know.
definitely throws it harder. But what I will say, though, is when I first started catching from Brett, he had a lot of zing on the ball. Catching from Aaron, he had more zing. But I was with him in the later years of his career, so I had to ask Donald Driver. I'm like, man, who throws harder, Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre? And he was like, Aaron got him. So I said, okay, then I am.
Oh yeah, then you can trust it.
I am feeling the same thing that you're feeling. But I mean, they're both man, great competitors, man. And you could tell Aaron, he took a lot from Brett, man, because during practice, Brett always wanted to be perfect. You know what I mean? If it wasn't perfect, we run in the dang play over again. And that's the same way 12 is, man. If it's not perfect, we run in the dang play over again, man. They want to be on the same page with you, whether you're a rookie, whether you're a 10-year vet. That's just the competitive nature in him, and that's why you see the success that they really have, especially with the young fellas.
How far do you think they are going to come this year? How far are the Packers going to go?
To be honest with you, I feel like they're a much better team than they were last year, man. You could tell they're just both sides of the ball is more comfortable, man, in year two in these systems, man. And Aaron Rodgers is just on fire right now in year two in this Matt LaFleur system. You could tell by all the different formations they're doing, the guys he's finding. I mean, he just looks more comfortable. He's checking in and out of plays, man, getting them into the right plays. You could tell he really has a grasp on this offense. And Matt LaFleur really understands what Aaron Rodgers likes. And you could tell that by when they take the field, man. It's just night and day from last year. Even though they were 13-3 last year, I feel like this is a better ball club. You get Kenny Clark back to put him in on that defense. I think he'll help them with the run defense. And once you do that, man, the back end could cover anybody. I think this team is built, man, to win the Super Bowl this year. You know, if God willing, they keep everybody.
Hold on, I'm writing this down. Super Bowl winner prediction, James Jones.
I mean, I think he's on to something though. I mean, the NFC is kind of wide open. There's a lot of good teams, but it's not quite like the AFC where you got to go through Kansas City.
Now you watched Patrick Mahomes last night, right? I see. I call him Patrick, not Pat.
Yeah.
Patrick. Yes, Patrick Mahomes. You watched him last night.
I call him Patty Mahomes.
Have you ever seen a quarterback with his skill set and in your time of playing football?
Yeah, I played with one for 8 years, and
Aaron Rodgers. So but he didn't have the running skills like Patrick does.
Oh man, what are you watching?
I was gonna say he runs all the time.
Patrick Mahomes. You're comparing Rodgers.
Man, to be honest with you, you should be comparing Patrick Mahomes to Rodgers because. Okay. The reason why when Patrick Mahomes first hit the scene, what did everybody say? Oh my goodness, this dude looks like Aaron Rodgers. Look at the throws he's making, right? Because it's
the no-look throws. Remember the no-look throws?
Yeah, it's the same throws that Aaron Rodgers was making, man.
Right.
And Patrick Mahomes is special, obviously, but Aaron Rodgers, man, could do anything and everything that Patrick Mahomes could do. And yes, I mean, we seen Aaron Rodgers on Monday night get out of the pocket and make plays with his legs, you know. So and that's the old Aaron Rodgers. He probably still think he's 4'5", you know what I mean? But he probably 5 flat. I tell him he's 5 flat. But no, man, I mean, he definitely can make plays with his legs as well. So I've seen it done, man. Both these quarterbacks, man, if you're on their team, if you're Tyreek Hill, if you're Devontae Adams, man, you're extremely blessed to have any of these quarterbacks that's playing football.
You're right. But Ross, I gotta ask him this because I've got somebody who knows Aaron Rodgers. Some people have told me that I look like Aaron Rodgers, but only when he's wearing his helmet. So I guess I'll just do that.
There you go.
Do I look at all like Aaron Rodgers?
Yeah, it might be the beard a little bit. You do look like 12.
Yeah, maybe.
Covering up.
There we go. All right.
So James, do you ever play fantasy football? We talk about it here all the time. We're fantasy football experts here, but I mean,
I play fantasy football. I'm in the fantasy football league with the network. I can brag. I actually just beat up on our expert Adam Rank this past weekend. I beat up on him, so you know.
The
reason why I'm saying that because he's a Bears fan, so I beat up on.
Okay, tell me who's on your team. Yeah, who's on your team?
On my team, my quarterback is Kyler Murray. My running backs are Josh Jacobs and Alvin Kamara. My receivers are Juju Smith, DeAndre Hopkins, and Amari Cooper. And my tight end is Darren Waller. My kicker is Buckner from Kansas City. And in my defense, I usually try to pick the best matchup. This week, I picked the Colts and put the Colts in my defense. So
how many points you must have had like 1 million points.
I made the right defensive choice right there. But usually my defense is the Ravens.
That's a monster team.
I don't play them against the Chiefs.
Well, so right now, let's say the draft was tonight and you're drafting with us and you had the first pick. Who would be your pick? Go.
The first pick, if everybody's healthy, beginning of the season?
Right now, our draft was tonight.
Yeah, right now, Christian McCaffrey's injured. Who's the number one pick?
Alvin Kamara.
Not Russell Wilson.
No, I'm taking Alvin Kamara just because I know that he's going to get a bunch of catches out the backfield and they're going to hand it off to him and he's going to get red zone touches. I got to take Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, see, James knows what's smart. Alvin Kamara gives you such a difference at running back. It's totally different than at quarterback. I mean, Russell Wilson's great, but there's a lot of good quarterbacks.
I mean, even when you think this past weekend, I mean, Alvin Kamara points-wise outplayed, as good as Russ played, 5 touchdowns, Alvin Kamara got more points. He had like 12 catches, you know what I mean? And he was running the ball. So my first pick will be Alvin Kamara. He's dangerous. And strictly with Michael Thomas out, you know their game plan is going to be.
They're doing these little screens to Alvin, and Alvin's running 80 yards for touchdowns.
Absolutely.
I mean, these are passes the Ross the Boss can make to Alvin if I wanted to.
Let me ask you a question, James. Did you play fantasy football when you were a player?
No, I did not play, but it was funny because a bunch of our linemen played, and they would always come up to me before the game like, I put you in. I need you to ball.
Listen, if it was 2012, you won a lot of leagues that year. I think you had 14 touchdowns that year.
Absolutely. But even for me now, like I play, but I still have mixed feelings when I play because when I first started playing, and the first year I played was 2 years after I retired, and I caught myself rooting against guys that I played with, and I'm like, I don't like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't like playing fantasy because I don't like rooting against guys I played with. You know what I'm saying? Because my first couple of years, I'll be like, don't throw it to Devontae. And then I'm like, what are you doing?
What am I doing? Right.
Devontae is your guy. You want him to ball out. Man, what do you mean don't throw? Who cares about a fantasy win? You want Devontae to ball out. So now I've kind of calmed down a little bit, and I'm like, man, I want my guys to ball, and I just hope the dudes on my team just score more points in them. But I definitely want them to ball.
So really quick now, we had Rick Cunningham on the show last week. He was an offensive lineman for the Cardinals, Vikings. He was also played for the Raiders. He played for the Colts. I played football with him in high school. So Rick told me the coldest place he ever played was Lambeau. He said he couldn't wait to get back on the sidelines because it was that cold. And he had the assignment to make sure Reggie White did not tackle his quarterback. So he had like one of the hardest jobs in football when he played.
Yeah.
He told me Lambeau was I mean, tell us how cold it was for you and how did you deal with it?
Man, it's absolutely brutal, man. And it's crazy because the first time when I got drafted and I went there and I was talking to Greg Jennings and Donald Driver, and they were like, hey, young fella, when it get cold, this is what you're going to want to do. This is the type of stuff you want to wear and all that. But I'm looking at them and I'm like, dude, you guys are not tougher than me. I'm not worried about the cold. If you guys could play in the cold, I could play in the dang cold. You know what I mean? And then we walked out there and I think it was negative 13 degrees, right? And in Green Bay, this was my first cold game. And in Green Bay, when you're introducing the starting lineups, they got a big old green door that goes up when they announce your name. So I don't go out for pregame warmups. That just wasn't my MO. I like to warm up in the locker room and do all that. I don't go out for pregame. So the first time me feeling the air is when they announced my name. And I didn't have no sleeves on. I thought I was tough, dude. I'm like, man, y'all could play in it. I could play in it. And they said, James Jones, San Jose State University. And that green door came up. And that cold air and that wind hit me. And as I was jogging out, slapping everybody's hands, in my mind, I said, I quit. I don't ever want to play.
This is the last time I'm playing.
You told Holmgren you're not playing.
I didn't want to tell Greg Jennings and Donald that they were right, but in my head, I'm like, please just make it to halftime so we can put on 32 Under Armour sleeves and come back out here and play the game. But it was brutal. But never again did I go out there with no sleeves. And as you know, that's when I started wearing the hoodie, putting the hoodie on, and I'm going out there. I'm going to be as warm as possible.
Well, James, thanks for coming on. Truly a treat. I'd love to have you come on again.
Please do. It was great having you.
I'm rooting for your Green Bay Packers to win the NFC, and I think they have a great shot. And, I'll keep watching you on the NFL Network. Again, thanks for coming on. And I'm Ross the Boss, and I love talking football with you.
Not a problem, man. Appreciate it. Anytime. You guys just let me know, man. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome, James.
Yeah.
Thank you.